this place so dry, no love to find. You're the only one that ever acts kind. They all after me, what's happening? I wish that you could see what I see. Your boyfriend's a douche that thinks he's cool and doesn't deserve a girl like you.
Alright, so I just looked it up, and it happened when Sasuke was 7 or 8. So, he's still gonna be, he's gonna be smart, but he's not gonna be as, reclusive. But so Sasuke just looks at Naruto and says, huh, I bet I'm better than you and smarter than you in everything. And then, because Sasuke is just Sasuke, all the girls start fawning over him. For no reason. And you know what? Guys, tell me what I should make the ship. If there should be a ship for this. Because I don't know if there should be a ship. But if there is, tell me. And so Naruto just looks at Sasuke and says, yeah, whatever. And then he walks to the seat in the back and looks out the window. And for the next year, all the way up till Naruto 6, everything goes the same, except Naruto got everything. And I mean everything right. And people were starting to notice a pattern. So that meant guys always trying to become his friends, or girls always trying to get him to give him the answers by saying they liked him or something. But Naruto never really fell for it. He knew who his true friends were. And he had quite a few of them. He had Shikamaru, who had met his first day of the academy. Kiba Inuzuka, who was pretty loudmouthed, but still a pretty fun guy. Choji Akamichi, who was obsessed with food, so anytime he was in the same room with Naruto, he knew he had sweets. And Naruto couldn't stand it. And there was a few others, like Shino, who was more of Naruto's type, because they were both quiet, so he was a pretty fun person to hang around. And on Naruto's 6th birthday, he was in the academy. And they were doing a test to see that would be 1 more year. So, actually 2 years had passed between the ages of 5 to now, so Naruto would be 7. And everything I said was still stated true. And on the day after Naruto's 7th birthday, they were doing exams to see who had skills ready to be fit for a ninja. But they still had a few more years in the academy. They were just seeing whose skills needed to be improved upon, and some who already had some really good skills. Now they had a written test. Now everyone knew Naruto was going to ace the written test. So Naruto finished his test within 2 minutes, which was a world record. Not even the 4th Hokage or Itachi finished that fast. He turned it in. And of course, like everyone suspected, every answer was right. Now, they're getting ready for the physical test. Now, nobody knew nobody knew Naruto's physical strength because no one ever fought him. Anytime someone tried to fight him, he didn't fight back or backed down. So everyone just assumed he was weak. He was only smart and a good strategist. But they didn't know what was coming. Something people didn't know was since the day that Naruto turned 6, he had been in contact with not only one, but 2 beings of immense power. The first was Indra, one of the sons of the Sage of the Six Paths. Now the second one was the Nine Tails. Now, in this one, I'm gonna say that, Menma and Mikaza, that's going to be his sister's name. It's probably not the best name, but I'm pretty sure it's original. So that's gonna be his sister's name. Menma and Mikaza are actually split 50-50 in Ashura reincarnation. And Naruto's the Indra reincarnation, so nothing special with Sasuke. No special abilities for you, Mr. Sasuke, sir. Now, once Naruto realized the whole thing about the reincarnations, he knew that even if Ashura tried or made contact with his siblings, they wouldn't be good people. They just wouldn't. So, he decided that, you know what? I'll be the child of prophecy. Even though his parents still thought it was going to be his siblings after Jiraiya had told them. They had even started training them at the age of 3, which would be when Naruto was 6, which is the same time he made contact with Indra and the Nine Tails. But now back to the physical test. Now, the first thing they were doing was throwing kunai and shuriken to see if they could get a 5 out of 5 score. What Naruto did surprised everyone. There was 5, or how many kids were in the class? 30, right? Something like that. There were 15 targets parallel to each other, and each had 5 marks on it. Naruto bounced all his kunai and shuriken off of each other, so that each shuriken ended up on one side hitting a target, and each kunai ended up on one side hitting a target. And that surprised everyone. He had hit every shot on every board, so they needed to get new ones. Now Sasuke, since they were both now 7, the massacre had happened. Sasuke was now all emo. And he decided that he was going to beat Naruto as his first step to getting revenge for his clan and killing his brother, Itachi. And so, there's some normal battles that go through, and then Naruto and Sasuke come up. Now, everyone says, well, yeah, sure, Naruto might have hit every target, but that was probably just luck. So we know Sasuke's gonna beat him, right? Everyone looks at each other, just nods their heads, of course. Now, so Naruto gets in a fighting stance, and Sasuke gets in a fighting stance. Now, once Ruka's 3, 2, 1, begin. Sasuke charges at Naruto with a right hook. Sorry if you guys heard that. I'm going to be eating a corn dog. Naruto dodges left, which is exactly what Sasuke wanted. So he throws a left hook, and then Naruto dives back. Lands on his hands, and does like a backflip, and lands at the other stage of the small arena they had drawn in chalk. And Sasuke gets angered, and jumps up into the air, and shoots a big, massive fireball. And yells, "Katon, Fireball Jutsu!" And blasts it at Naruto. Now, what everyone didn't know was at the time, Naruto didn't say he's a direct protege of Kakashi. He's just been an admirer, if you will. He even started picking up some of his habits and dyed the tips of his hairs white. Now, so, when everyone looked around, they couldn't see him, so they thought he had just been turned to dust, and everyone started cheering. Sasuke landed on the ground, and it was like, and then Iruka started counting to 10. He was like 1, 2, 3, and everyone started to hear a rumble. 4, 5, 6, and then there was some pebbles that started to shake. 7, 8, 9, and everyone saw a big thing coming up right behind Sasuke. Like, literally directly behind him. And right as Iruka was about to say 10, Naruto's hands popped out of the ground and pulled Sasuke's legs into the earth. Kind of like what happened the first time they took the belt test. Well, the only time they took the belt. But yeah, the first time they took the belt test. And then his head got stuck in the ground because Naruto had seen Kakashi do that move on an enemy when he had went out of the village, and Naruto followed him. And then he hopped out of the ground right in front of him, with only Sasuke's head sticking out and like a bit of his hands, and it was like, well, you see, everyone thinks you're the best here, but I'm good. I'm decent, at least. See? And then Naruto body flickers into the crowd. And right before Sakura is about to say that he cheated, Ruka says, Naruto wins the match. And that's it. You know, some people expected this. Shikamaru knew he had great strategies. And Kiba wasn't quite sure if he could win against Sasuke, the supposed rookie of the year, but he still believed in his friend. Now, so after they get back inside the building, class ends for the day, and as Naruto is walking home, a gaggle of girls get in front of him, basically every girl in the entire Ninja Academy, and block off every exit. Every exit. And they're like, we knew you cheated. How'd you do it? And Naruto's like, what makes you think I cheated? Well, you beat Sasuke, so what gadget or whatever did you beat him with? Smart. And they're like, well, you're... whatever. We're gonna beat you now for our Sasuke-kun. And then Naruto looks at all of them and says, do you really think Sasuke likes you? And they're like, well, yeah. why do you think he shows up to the academy every day? And he's like, oh, you guys are so stupid. And Sasuke was kind of watching from a dark alley, which he wasn't a conspirator in this, but wouldn't mind seeing Naruto get beat up. And it says, Sasuke pulls up to class every day to practice and train, and honing for beating his brother. Now I'm no different for wanting to beat my siblings, but I feel Sasuke still has a better reason than I do. And then Sasuke's smile or like smirk faded, and he just kind of like had a wide-eyed face, but still wasn't going to go in. He was like, and they were like, "What are you talking about, loser?" He's like, "It's obvious. You know the Uchiha massacre? Well, of course. But we still don't know who committed it." And he's like, "You're stupid. Who was one of the most elite Uchiha? Madara? No. Who was an Uchiha that was great, that lived in our lifetime? Sasuke-kun? No. Itachi Uchiha. And they're like, yeah, he's Sasuke's older brother. What about him? Because they had seen him drop off Sasuke to school a couple times, but still didn't know much about him. Well, it's obvious. After the Uchiha massacre happened, everyone died except for Sasuke. And except for Itachi. It's obvious. What do you think Sasuke is always sulking about? Or always obsessing about revenge? I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to kill him and avenge my clan. Itachi. It's Itachi. Itachi murdered his clan. And Sasuke doesn't have answers, so he assumed the worst. It's possible that Itachi lied to him, so that he would get Sasuke to kill him and be seen as a hero to the leaf. And he's like, but I think I have a theory. Now Sasuke jumps out at this point. He's like, Naruto. And Naruto's like, looks like the Teme showed up. And Sasuke's like, tell me, Naruto. And Naruto's like, okay, come with me, Sasuke. And Sasuke's like, well, how are we going to get far away enough from them without them following us? And Naruto's like, come on, I got this. He rushes over to Sasuke, but before any of the girls could do anything, because they thought he was about to beat him again, he grabs him by the shoulder, and then I said it earlier, what was it? Body flickers out and to the Uchiha compound, which now that Sasuke is the only member alive and the only one with access besides leaders of any clan or the leaders of the Leaf Village, he's the only one who has access to it. And Sasuke's like, how didn't we get in here? Dope. Naruto's like, I snagged the key off of you during the fight because I knew this would happen. Bro, like, shut up. It's like 11:55 p.m., bro. Sorry about that. But so, bro, shut up. Bro, shut up. So Naruto's like, do you want to know, Sasuke? Alright, and then Sasuke's like, of course, dope. Now tell me. Naruto's like, well, my theory is that Danzo Shimura, one of the Hidden Leaf Council, wanted the Sharingan and knew that the Uchiha were planning a coup against the Leaf Village. And Sasuke's like, why would Uchiha plan a coup against the Leaf Village? And Naruto's like, well, it's obvious. They were being oppressed and couldn't think of a better way. So they were going to stage a coup to take over the Leaf and get the respect they wanted. And Sasuke's like... And then he thinks about it and how their compound was, like, way outside of, like, the main part of the Leaf, you know, where everything important is. And he's like... And Naruto's like, exactly. But so... Danzo gave Itachi, an army member, two options. And Sasuke was like, well, what were they? It's either let the coup happen knowing that his entire clan, including you, would die because you'd be too young to defend yourself and no one would be there to defend you, or kill the entire clan, but let you live. And Sasuke widens his eyes and was like, but, and Naruto's like, he couldn't tell you because then you would hate the Leaf. Then you would destroy something he fought so hard to protect. Peace. If people knew the Leaf was already being destroyed from the inside out, they would also start destroying it from the outside. All Itachi ever wanted was peace. But now that you know this, you're probably gonna ruin it. And Sasuke's like, shut up, dope. But that is a pretty good theory. Oh, whatever. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Now leave. And Naruto's like, okay. And body flickers back to his room. Now, I'll continue doing... I'll upload tomorrow. It'll either be part 7 to What If Deku Was Neglected and Was Cheated On, or it'll either be a part 2 to this. So, yeah, goodbye.